Hi, my name is Taylor, and today I'm going to be talking about smartphones, a kid's drug. According to a Common Sense Research article, half of children now have smartphones or any form of technology, whether it be smartphones, AirPods, iPhones, any of that. I'm using my iPhone to film it on, but any of this technology they are constantly using. And in this article, it talks about how much of an impact it has on kids. Many children under the age of 14 years old, that's barely middle school, they have a smartphone, anything, tablet, smartphone, computer, all of that. And this article is by Solfu Jian, sorry, this was pronunciation. At only a few months old, babies are spending an hour a day watching television. Now imagine watching a screen this close. Can't be good, right? And 2 years old, barely talking kids are playing with smartphones. People will see it all the time. Restaurants, doctors' offices, anything, just to keep their mind off their child. It's causing them to become dependent on this device. Children shouldn't have smartphones until they're in high school because it teaches them behavioral skills, it worsens their human-to-human interaction, and it can damage their eyesight. Many children are developing bad behavior traits because they're used to be treated poor for bad behavior. So, for example, mother sees kid crying, gives kid cell phone, kid sitting like this in the restaurant, occupied with the device. But how is that treating them for misbehaving in the restaurant? They're not being disciplined, so they're gonna assume they can do that everywhere. No manners, nothing taught. In an article called How and Why Parents Guide the Media Use of Young Children by Peter Nicken, and Maren Scholes, it states, only touch screens were used more often by children when parents perceived the media as a helpful in providing moments of rest for the child. This is saying the screen keeps them occupied. Parents are talking to family friends, kids have the TV, kids have the iPad, kids are fine, they're watching their TV. But what does that teach them about interacting with each other, playing with each other, behaving even? I mean, all of this. They're not going to misbehave because they obviously are occupied by the smartphone. Child smartphone usage is based on their parent phone usage. So I go to this thing called Monkey See, Monkey Do. Mama bear's on the phone, baby bear's gonna be on the phone. It's back and forth, constant patterns, and it's not okay. Another thing that is really bad about the smartphones with kids is interaction socially. It is ruining their social interaction completely. They're not able to communicate with each other because they're so busy focusing on the phone. I'm just using this as a phone, for example, because I'm recording on my phone, but kids are sitting like this, they're not looking at one another, they're texting constantly. I mean, it can't be good for little kids. In an article called How Smartphones Are Killing Conversations, Joe Sudi says that 89% of Americans during a lunch or any conversational thing take out their phone at least one time. But 82% of those people said that their conversation deteriorated because of the cell phone usage. It wasn't just ignited like it normally is. Because imagine having a kid take out their phone. What are they gonna do? They're not gonna have anything to talk about because they're just constantly on their phones. This is what kids do. I see it in couples all the time too. They'll sit on their phone, texting, sitting on their phone, texting, not even interacting as a couple or anything. It's disgusting. I'm like, you can't be a couple without that compassion towards each other, that interaction. Now kids are on Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, all of that platform, and not even having a good interaction. It's devastating. Not only does their face-to-face conversation ruin, it ruins in general memories. I mean, we used to go knock on people's doors to ask them to come over, and now you just shoot them a quick text. Even if they're in the same room, people text each other. It's crazy. And my last reason is it can damage their eyesight. children watch and play games constantly for hours on their phones, and the UV light on your phone damages your eyesight. So imagine if you're on your phone playing a game or something. In an article called How Too Much Screen Time Affects Kids' Eyes, it talks about many different effects that the smartphone has on your eyes. And one of them says that studies have found that children who spend more time indoors are more likely to develop nearsightedness. Nearsightedness is when you can't see things close up. So imagine, or you can only see things close up because you're depending on this. So if you're depending on this, you can't see far away because you're so used to it close to your face. Because kids it's in their faces. They can't do anything about it. And then they're gonna need glasses, right? Prices increase on glasses. Kids are constantly buying stuff. It's just a bad process. So therefore, smartphones have a negative look on kids because they affect their eyesight. Behavioral issues can occur, and because it ruins their human-to-human interaction. It is not okay for kids to be going through all of this stuff and being treated for bad behavior, not able to have a simple conversation at the dinner table about what even they did in preschool today. They're going to be too busy on their phone watching TV or any of this. It's not okay. And then their eyesight, they can need permanent glasses by the time they're in high school. I mean, that is a bad thing that can happen to these kids, and I don't appreciate what parents are doing for their kids nowadays. Personally, it's not okay.